Guys, it's time to have the talk. No, I'm not your old man. I'm not going to give you that kind of talk. It's time to talk selling. Yes, as investors, it's not something we want to do, but it's a necessary conversation. So let's go into a few points as to why that is the case. Just on a quick side note, guys, I'm PokeCharla. I love to talk about the Pokemon TCG. If this is your style of content, please don't hesitate to subscribe. I would love to have you here. Why is it a good time to sell then? Well, the Pokemon market. Yes, it's Pokemon, but it's still a market and acts and performs just like any other normal market in the world. It goes like this. There's peaks and troughs. It goes up and down. There are good times. There are bad times. Right now, we are undoubtedly in a strong moment, a good time, right? But they unfortunately do not last forever. And I'll go into shortly a personal example, have capitalized on the fact that we are in a good moment. So let's get straight into that example that I was referring to, guys. So prior to release of Surging Sparks, I purchased 2 sealed cases of booster boxes for 650 GBP each. Now, for those of you that are mathematical wizards, yes, that equals 1,300 GBP. Guys, for those of you that are situated in other parts of the world, don't worry, I'll show you some love. I'll put the prices here in USD and Australian dollars as well. So last week, guys, I sold both of these sealed cases for 900 GBP each, totaling 1,800. So started 1,300, sold for 1,800, £500 profit, which covers perfectly 4 sealed booster boxes of Surging Sparks that I bought just after release for 120 GBP each. Again, guys, the prices will be here of everything. So that totaling 480 GBP is covered perfectly by the £500 profit I've already made on Surging Sparks. Now, of course, you're probably going to ask the question, but why did you sell it? You know that Surging Sparks is going to the moon. It's going to be, those cases are going to be worth a lot more soon. Guys, I 100% agree with you, right? But here's my reasoning for selling. We're currently in a seller's market. These prices are quite inflated. I do believe that prices for Surging Sparks will come down a bit in the near future. I do think with very strong sets to come out, attention will sort of head towards those sets. Surging Sparks will then drop a little bit along with reprints that of course will come. Maybe we get 1, maybe we get 2, who knows? But I do think Surging Sparks, for varying reasons, will drop a little bit. And then if I feel I want to, I can go back and pick up another sealed case or 2. But guys, I simply wanted to take advantage of the market that we're in, bank that profit, cover the investment that I've made in other Surging Sparks booster boxes, and simply capitalize on the opportunity while it's there. We cannot predict the future, guys. We don't know what's going to happen. And also, profit is not profit until you have sold. Therefore, I wanted to, while possible, jump on that opportunity. Of course, we also have the thing that all investors want, right? And that is to sell at the peak. That's an extremely difficult thing to do as we can't predict the future. So my thought process was Surging Sparks, yeah, it will probably keep rising a little bit more. And those sealed cases are probably more than likely going to be worth more than what I sold them for in the very, very near future. But I think it's important, as I said, to capitalize on that opportunity while it is there. Bank that profit while possible instead of doing what a typical investor does and wait it out until you reach that peak and potentially losing the opportunity to bank profit and watch prices plummet for whatever reason, as they potentially could do. As I said, we can't predict the future. We sure can predict that there will be a reprint, and due to other varying reasons that I mentioned, Surging Sparks will drop in price somewhat. And therefore, I simply didn't want to miss the opportunity, guys. I didn't want to just wait until it hits that peak as a typical investor wants to do. I wanted to sell while possible. Another reason why I really wanted to sell now, guys, is also factoring in the point that the higher the price reaches of a sealed product, the harder it is to move, the harder it is to sell, right? There is a lot higher probability that, for example, Evolving Skies reaching $1,000 a booster box, you have to be extremely careful when making a purchase, right? People take extra precaution because there's a lot more counterfeit products out there. Due to the price it is reached, people want to perform scams, people want to make counterfeit product, and therefore it's just a harder time selling something so expensive. So Surging Sparks being what it is right now, being still a fairly low and respectable price in comparison to other sealed cases of booster boxes, it's a lot easier to sell right now than say in 5 or 10 years when, yes, okay, it probably will be 3, 4, 5 times the price of what it is now. but you're going to have a harder time trying to sell. Now, to look at another example of this style of market, let's go back to COVID times. Now, for those of you that possibly weren't around in COVID times, you weren't involved in the hobby at that time, just to give you a little bit of context, due to external influence, due to influencers themselves talking a lot and getting involved in the hobby, it generated a lot of artificial hype within the hobby, and prices of both sealed products, graded slabs and singles themselves soared. They absolutely rocketed, especially vintage products. Now, due to that, guys, it became an extremely good time to sell, but after that, the market crashed and therefore prices plummeted and people missed their opportunity to sell product. Now, yes, it's a slightly different situation because that was an artificial hype around the hobby and the prices were massively inflated artificially, as I said. This feels a lot more natural. There is genuine hype around the hobby because of how strong the sets are, etc., etc. But the same principles apply. Why the market is strong is irrelevant. Just the fact that the market is strong is relevant. The same principle applies. Therefore, the same principle also applies is the fact that you should be and also or can take advantage of the situation of the market and sell product. Of course, while Surging Sparks is going crazy, there are other sets out there that are very investable as they are reaching sort of their floor, if you like. As we talked about, selling when it reaches its peak, also try to buy when it reaches the floor. Now, of course, guys, I'm not telling you to sell everything you own or say all the good investments you've made in the good sets that are soaring and invest in Shrouded Fable, for example. No, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just thinking more logically, more sensibly about how you can potentially go about things. For example, everything we physically own, guys, can be wiped out in a second. Unfortunately, some of us do live in areas of the world where natural disasters occur and things can be wiped out in an instance. Therefore, it's a sensible play to make to minimize what you physically own and bank profit where you can. Of course, you can make the argument where it's like, yeah, well, that Surging Spark seal case, I'll let it sit there for 10 years and it'll be worth X amount in 10 years. And, you know, I'll make a lot of money that way. Yeah, of course, you can. That's absolutely true. And it's not a bad idea either. But you can also look at it to play devil's advocate, bank that profit now, reinvest it, and let that money grow as well. But you're in some form taking a level of precaution and playing it safe in some way by banking profit while you can. That's been everything from me today, guys. As always, I massively appreciate your support. If you have enjoyed the video, please don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe right here. Guys, if you do want to watch a video about how I believe booster boxes are no longer king, you can watch that right here. Or if you want to see a recap of 2024 in Pokemon, you can watch that right here. Guys, I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one.